Jake Paul. Jake Paul's dead. He's dead. He's not going to make it. Shut the up. I don't give a dude. Look at this. Look at this. He's fighting a professional boxer.
So Joe Rogan just humbled Jake Paul after he canceled his big clash with legend Iron Mike Tyson. Yeah, the highly anticipated clash of the eras is once again going up in smoke. And who do we have to thank? Jake Paul, of course. Yep, Jake being Jake. He's out here pulling the plug last minute on what could have been the biggest fight of his career, like it's just another day in the office.
Goodbye, thank you.
Goodbye.
But here's the thing. This time? Nah, it's not gonna fly. Not with Joe Rogan around. You know how Joe Rogan doesn't mess around when it comes to respecting the sport and its icons, and when Jake canceled on a legend like Mike Tyson, Joe had some serious words for him. Rogan, who's all about upholding the integrity of combat sports, just couldn't let Jake's careless moves slide. In a recent podcast episode, Joe absolutely roasted Jake, calling him out for disrespecting the fight world and dodging a fight that had everyone hyped. Rogan went off saying, "Boach, pulling out of this fight is a slap in the face to the sport and to the fans. You don't just walk away from a fight with Mike Tyson like it's nothing." And honestly, he's right. Jake's ego is through the roof, but this time he messed with the wrong people. Let's break it down. So Joe Rogan didn't just call Jake Paul out for pulling the plug on the Mike Tyson fight. Oh no, Joe went all in and unleashed a scathing rant about how Jake's been manipulating his fans from the start. Rogan's no stranger to controversial opinions, but this time he straight up obliterated Jake's image, calling him a master manipulator who's been selling his fans a false narrative for years. Now, Joe's never been one to hop on the Jake Paul hype train. He's always been vocal about questioning Jake's legitimacy as a real boxer. Even as Jake racked up wins and built his reputation as an influencer-turned-fighter, Rogan's been on the sidelines calling out the smoke and mirrors Jake uses to trick people into believing he's the real deal. And now, after Jake pulled out of the fight of the year with Mike Tyson, Joe's had enough. Rogan didn't hold back, accusing Jake of manipulating his fan base and the media into believing he's something he's not. Joe's all like, "Jake's been hyping up fights, building anticipation, and then pulling stunts like this. He's playing his fans and the sport for fools." And let's be honest, Joe's got a point. For months, Jake's been promoting the Tyson fight, hyping it up as the biggest showdown of his career and getting everyone excited. But then, when push came to shove, Jake bailed, just like that. Joe's been a longtime fan and the voice of combat sports, and he's seen it all. Legends, up-and-comers, and even the controversial fighters who shake things up. But for him, Jake's antics go beyond just showmanship. They're a flat-out disrespect to the sport. And now that Jake's pulled the plug on the Tyson fight, Rogan's doubling down on his criticism. Rogan blasted Jake for using these kinds of tactics to keep himself in the spotlight. He even went as far as to call Jake's actions a huge disservice to boxing fans, saying, "This fight was supposed to be the fight of the year. People were ready, fans were hyped, and now what? You pull out at the last second like it's no big deal? It's just wrong, man." And the thing is, Joe's been skeptical about Jake from the start. He's never fully bought into Jake's self-proclaimed title as a legit fighter. Sure, Jake's had some wins, but Rogan's been consistently questioning the quality of Jake's opponents and the way he manipulates the narrative to make himself look unbeatable. So the hype for Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson was reaching fever pitch. Like, we're talking one of the biggest fights in combat sports history, especially after that heated press conference on August 18th, 2024 in New York City. If you missed it, you missed some serious fireworks. Mike was out here looking like he was ready to eat Jake alive. And Jake? Well, he was doing what he does best, talking smack and hyping himself up like he was untouchable. The tension was through the roof. Fans were going crazy. Tickets were selling out faster than concert seats, and everyone was placing their bets. People were picking sides. The whole fight world was buzzing. And then Jake just dropped a freaking bombshell on us. The fight is off. All that hype, all the talk, all the build-up, and Jake just pulls the plug. Looks like our guy got a case of the pre-fight jitters. I mean, who wouldn't? We're talking about stepping into the ring with Mike Tyson, the man who literally chewed off a dude's ear before. That's not your average Sunday workout. The psychological toll of facing Tyson, knowing he's got decades of destruction behind him, can shake anyone up, even Jake Paul. But here's the thing. The fight world did not take this one lightly. Fans are feeling majorly let down, and you know Joe Rogan wasn't about to let this slide without saying something.
execution. It was just a matter of Mike Tyson closing the distance. This Mike Tyson, as fast as he was, as hard as he hits, I maintain he's the greatest.
Yeah.
The greatest heavyweight ever.
Now, if you're not familiar with Joe Rogan's bond with Tyson, let me break it down for you real quick. Joe is basically Tyson's #1 fan. It's like he's the president of the unofficial Mike Tyson fan club. Every time Joe brings up Tyson on his podcast, you can see the admiration all over his face. We're talking about a guy who's been in combat sports for decades, who's seen it all. And he still treats Mike like a living legend. Because, well, he is one. Honestly, Joe probably has a picture of Mike Tyson on his wall at home. So when Jake Paul, the internet sensation, the self-proclaimed problem child, pulls the plug on the fight of a lifetime with Tyson, Joe is not having it.
Obviously, devastating news. I'm heartbroken, speechless, gutted. We've been working so hard over here, everyone in this camp, and I just feel bad for everyone involved in this event.
All right, let's talk about why Jake bailed. From what we know, Jake's team has said it's all about timing and business decisions. But come on, we all know there's more to it than that. I mean, this was supposed to be the fight. The fight that could have made Jake Paul legit in the eyes of boxing pros and pundits? Let's be real for a second. A fight with Mike Tyson would have completely changed the trajectory of Jake Paul's career. I mean, stepping into the ring with Iron Mike? That's next level stuff. And if Jake had somehow pulled off a win, it would have solidified him as more than just an influencer boxer. But let's face it, Jake knew deep down that he had no shot against a legend like Tyson. Come on, this dude's been sweating bullets ever since the matchup was announced, and now it's finally caught up to him. The pressure was unreal, and Jake wasn't ready to deal with the reality of facing someone who's literally one of the most feared fighters in history.
National heavyweight boxer. He's still terrifying.
Now, we're not buying any of these bad business excuses. Let's be honest, guys. You and I both know this fight was perfect on paper. The hype was insane, Netflix was on board, and everything was lined up for it to be the fight of the year. So what's the real reason? It's obvious. Jake had second thoughts. He realized he was stepping into dangerous territory, and the idea of getting in the ring with Mike was probably giving him nightmares. But instead of stepping into the ring with Mike, Jake pulled out, leaving fans, and of course Joe Rogan, super disappointed.
Day 2, we're getting ready for you.
Mike Tyson is an absolute machine, guys. And let's not forget, even at 58, Mike Tyson was gearing up for this fight like a rookie ready for his debut. Seriously, the man was training like there was no tomorrow. He's been hitting the gym hard, putting in that work. We're talking about explosive combos, lightning-fast footwork, and that signature Tyson head movement. The man still has it. The power, the precision, everything. His jab, still as sharp as ever. His hooks, brutal. And that famous uppercut? You know it's a fight ender if it connects. Tyson might be pushing 60, but trust me, his punching power hasn't aged a day. His speed and strength would still give any boxer nightmares. His work on the heavy bag? Straight up terrifying. Jake might have thought he was stepping into the ring with an old man, but Mike was out here training like it was 1986 all over again. And Joe Rogan knows this better than anyone. If that Mike Tyson from Marvis Frazier fought Jake Paul's dead. He's dead. He's not gonna make it.
Mike Tyson from Marvis Frazier fought Jake Paul. Jake Paul's dead. He's dead. He's not going to make it.
Get this, Jake still has a long way to go when it comes to solidifying his status as a legit boxer, but his recent actions are doing the exact opposite. Instead of earning the respect he desperately craves from the boxing world, Jake's out here making moves that only further alienate him from the sport's true insiders. Let's be real. The boxing community doesn't respect Jake as it is. His fights against other influencers and MMA fighters haven't convinced anyone that he's a serious contender. But now, by disrespecting a legend like Mike Tyson, Jake is digging himself into an even deeper hole. This latest stunt isn't just making people dislike him, it's making them downright furious. And it's not just fans who are fed up, it's the experts too. Jake's disrespect has fired up people like Joe Rogan, who isn't afraid to call him out for his antics. Rogan, a guy who knows the sport inside and out, has made it clear that Jake's behavior is unacceptable and only further proves that he's not ready to be taken seriously in the boxing world. Jake's actions are doing more harm than good, and if he keeps this up, he might find himself completely shut out of the sport he's trying so hard to break into. Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see how everything plays out. So, there you go. Fight World. That's all I have for you today. What are your thoughts on Jake Paul getting humbled by Joe Rogan? Fill in the comments section with your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more boxing news. See you in the next video.